Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Today is the day that I fill out my 2021 NBA playoff bracket, guys. So before we get going on this video, I need to ask you guys a quick favor, man. If you can please leave a like on this video. Often when you do brackets, there's a lot of people out there that get upset about another person's opinion and they end up disliking the video. So you guys don't mind leaving a like, showing that crispy support. And remember, for every 100 likes this video gets, I will do one push-up in my next video. So my last one got about 2,700 likes or something like that. So 27 push-ups for the end of this video here, man. But yes, so to celebrate, the NBA playoffs, I am rocking my 2019 Detroit Pistons playoff shirt, guys. So after game one of this series, these were buy one, get one free and 50% off at my local grocery store. So here's to hoping that your favorite team is not such much of an underdog or unfavored team that it's not 50% off after the first game, man. So here we go. Let's get going on this, man. And hey, it's going to be a good playoffs, guys. I already see a lot of great, even just first round series right here. So at the making of this, we still know the winner of the Warriors Memphis, but that's not really persuading my pick anyways. So I guess while we're at it, let's go with that series, man. We have the Utah Jazz versus either the Warriors or Memphis Grizzlies. To be quite honest, man, if the Memphis Grizzlies win, which they very well could tonight, or the Warriors win tonight, I have the Grizzlies losing 4-1. I have the Warriors losing 4-2, man. I do think the Jazz being the number one seed, we got to show them some respect out there, no doubt. The only issue I have with the Jazz is, like, they've been playing very well without Donovan Mitchell, but if Mitchell does come back and he's playing, that can really affect chemistry. No matter how great a player is, it's like going from not playing since, like, April to now having to, like, play competitive basketball against, both really good teams. That's the only, like, dangerous point, right? And I think Curry is definitely good for getting 1 or 2 games against this Utah Jazz team, but eventually, I will say the Jazz do win the series. There's Utah Jazz. Okay, next up we have the LA Clippers versus the Dallas Mavericks. And once again, man, it's going to be a good series. Always entertaining basketball. This time around, the Mavericks do have Kristaps Porzingis, and Kristaps has had a fine year. But once again, it's going to come down to Luka Doncic and getting everybody else involved on the team. But also, this Clippers team is very good, man. Like, they got good depth. Obviously, you got Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. I really think Paul George is going to be on a tear come playoff time. Now, this could be a bad take, later on when I react to this, when the playoffs are all over with. But at the same time, man, playoff P, he definitely has to get that away from his legacy, right? So, once again, man, 4-5, I think it's going to be a really good series. It's going to be a deep series. I think 6-7 games. But ultimately speaking, no big-time hot take right here. I do have the LA Clippers advancing against the Utah Jazz. So, there we go, man. LA Clippers. There we go. Okay. Next up, we have the Denver Nuggets versus the Portland Trail Blazers. Both really great teams for different reasons. Now, when it comes down to, Jokic probably is going to be the MVP of the NBA, at least, runner up for it at the very least. And Damian Lillard is the absolute baller. I mean, Damian is looking to get that Western Conference NBA championship run. I don't know if this is the year they get it done, though, man. This Nuggets team, it's just the way they've been playing. And Michael Porter, candidate for most improved player. He's going to be big time. Aaron Gordon being a perfect fit. I don't think this is going to be a very close series, man. I just don't really see anybody on the Trailblazers being able to, like, contain Jokic and the ball movement of the Denver Nuggets. Now, if Nurkic is playing some great basketball, sure, why not, man? I guess he can maybe, to some extent, maybe put a body on Jokic, but I do think the Denver Nuggets also move on in this case. Moving on, man. Y'all like that? Oh, yeah. Oh, damn, bro. Yo, sign me. I'm an artiste, man. Okay, looks like pen. All right, next up, we have the Phoenix Suns, LA Clippers. How y'all doing, Suns fans? I feel so bad for you guys, man. Like, literally, you get the second seed. You have your best season since the Steve Nash days. And you get to deal with LeBron James and Anthony Davis in the first round. Okay, let's be honest here, man. The Lakers are better than a 7th seed. I know Phoenix Suns fans, if anybody picks the Lakers, are saying, well, you guys are disrespecting us. It's not disrespect. It's just the respect you pay towards LeBron James and Anthony Davis, right, man? I look at this series right here, and I really think the only thing you can look at is, playoff pedigree and the historics of the great players on this team. Devin Booker doesn't really have playoff experience. I mean, Mikal Bridges, no playoff experience. DeAndre Ayton, younger center, no real playoff experience. I think you got to look at Chris Paul. So Chris Paul, historically speaking, you could say that when he was on the Clippers back in the day, those Clippers teams always did underperform in the playoffs. What's on the Houston Rockets had some major injuries. It seems like Chris Paul always gets injured in the playoffs. He's a great point guard, man. One of the all-time greats. But I think when it comes down to it, I'm picking the Lakers, man. I look at LeBron and AD, and that's enough for me to say in the first round of a series right here. I think it's going to come down to just, you know, knowing how to win those games. And LeBron James ain't losing in the first round, in my opinion, man. So I'm sorry, Suns fans. You guys are having such a good season. I see so much great potential with this team. Hopefully you guys find a Chris Paul replacement down the road as far as that point guard spot goes. I feel bad about it because I know what it's like to be a fan of an underdog team. I really do. But I'm taking the Lakers, man. Maybe you guys will have your 2004 Pistons moment and knock them out. Although it's not really like that because it's not the finals, but still. I got to go with the Lakers, man. I'm sorry, Suns fans. I feel so bad about it. I really do. Okay, next up we have the Philadelphia 76ers against the Washington Wizards. Congratulations for them for moving on after beating the Pacers. Alrighty, man. So Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal, you know, they're playing great basketball. I like the 76ers defensively. I do think that Ben Simmons, his length should, and his quickness really too, man, should give Russell Westbrook, you know, some issues out there. It's not going to be anything easy, at least. You know, Bradley Beal, I expect him to get his points and everything, but when it comes down to it, there's just simply nobody on this Wizards team that will even be able to contain Joel Embiid to any extent. Daniel Gafford played some good basketball in the closeout tournament game and everything. But, yeah, there's just nobody slowing him down, guys. So I think when it comes down to it, I do have the 76ers, no doubt, man, moving on to the second round of the playoffs. That's a 6, by the way, 76, man. All right, next up we have one of the series that I'm most looking forward to, man. We got the Atlanta Hawks versus the New York Knicks, and it's going to be a hell of a series, man. You know, the Knicks definitely play that hard-nosed basketball. The Hawks, I actually do think, are one of the more underrated teams in the NBA. But both these teams are great for different reasons, man. To me, it's a toss-up. It's a 7-game series. It's a 7-game series. But when I look down to it, you know, I just like some of like the leadership, I guess, on the Knicks a bit more than I do on the Hawks. You know, having like Derrick Rose and you know, guys like that on the team, man. I mean, as far as like the Hawks leadership goes, like playoff experience, I mean, they got like Gallinari, I guess. But yeah, I like the Knicks in this series, man. I do think it's a 7-game series. Trae Young's going to get his, no doubt. But there's plenty of guys in the Knicks that are going to get theirs, too. I got the Knicks doing some crazy things up in here, man. And moving on to the second round of the playoffs. Alrighty, next up, we got the Milwaukee Bucks and the Miami Heat. Ooh, I can't wait for this one. This is going to be fan-freaking-tastic, man. Giannis is playing like an MVP yet again. He's not going to get voted into it, obviously, because, you know, voters fatigue. And the Miami Heat, just, like, the past few months, this team's been on fire, man. Like, no pun intended. But yet again, it's going to be a case where the Heat are just playing great basketball at the right time. So, I actually really like how the Heat do match up against the Bucks, just having like the quickness of Bam out there. I really do think that, you know, nobody can stop Giannis, but Bam is just a good player to at least try to do so. Jimmy Butler obviously is fantastic. I do wish this team had Victor Oladipo playing, but at the same time, you know, they have chemistry without him in the backcourt. Tyler Hero, Goran Dragic, you know, Duncan Robinson doing his thing out there too. You know, I failed to mention this in another video, but like Dwayne Dedmon has been playing really good backup center numbers for this team, man. Trevor Ariza, you know, your Jay Crowder replacement. And then you look at the Bucks too, obviously having like Drew Holiday. He's been really good this season and everything. Oh, it's going to be such a tough series, man. But I will say, with the exception of this Lakers series, you know, I'm not going to say every single, like, well, I guess I also have the 5th seed win, the 4th seed right here, man. But I'm going to say I got the Heat moving on, guys. I know, man. I got the Miami Heat moving on. I'm sorry, Buck fans. I'm sorry, man. But I like this Heat team. We all counted them out last season. I'm not doing it again. Miami Heat, 7 games, maybe 6-game series versus the Bucks. Coach Bud is going to get fired, and so be it. That's how it's going to be. I'm sorry, man. Gotta pick somebody. I'm not freaking sorry, man. I'm not sorry. This is my pick. This is my bracket. I ain't apologizing no more. Damn. That's how it's going to be. All right, next up, we got the Brooklyn Nets, Boston Celtics. No disrespect to the Celtics, but the Nets are winning this. Sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. Nets are winning this. I just apologize again. Damn it. I feel bad. I don't know. I just feel bad. Okay, next up, we have another real good series. These are all great series, actually, by the way. We have the Jazz versus the LA Clippers. So a big part of this is going to come down to, yet again, if Paul George is playing good basketball, Donovan Mitchell can stay healthy with the chemistry and everything. Oh my god, man, this is a really tough year. This is a really tough bracket this year, man. It's so tough. Because I'm like, the Jazz #1 seed, and they're there for a reason, but at the same time, it's like, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. Ah, man, it's like, I want to pick the Jazz. I want to. But and I think that's even me like saying like I want them as like they're an underdog, man. They're only the they're the first seed, but I'm calling them an underdog for some reason. I got the Clippers winning, man. I got the Clippers winning. I really do. Sorry, Jazz fans. I'm sorry. Just had to pick one, and I think the Clippers are a better team. So, regular season is no indication of playoff success. All right, next up we got Denver versus the Lakers. So I do like all the big bodies that the Lakers have to throw at Jokic. I think that is going to be a big difference maker. Andre Drummond's being a 6'10 dude that weighs a lot. Like, that should be able to do something against Jokic. Actually, the Jokic type of center is typically sauce up Drummond. But you still have AD. You still have, Montrezl Harrell out there and stuff. So, Michael Porter versus LeBron James. I mean, Michael Porter looking like a future star in the NBA, but it's against LeBron. I have the Lakers moving on, guys. The 7th seed, man. That shouldn't be a 7th seed, but they are. Because, well, players got injured and stuff, man. But let's be honest. This would be a top 2 or 3 seed if it wasn't for injuries. All right, next up we got the 76ers versus the Knicks. Oh, gonna be a good one again, man. Gonna be a good one again, man. Part of me wants to go with the Cinderella story of the Knicks. But also the 76ers, I actually kind of like the idea of maybe putting like Ben Simmons on Julius Randle. I feel like that would be a really intriguing matchup. Once again, the Knicks, like Nerlens Noel is cool playing against his former 76ers team that obviously is not in great because they chose Embiid over Noel, which they should have, obviously, man. And Julie Okafor, by the way. But I think once again, there's nobody on this Knicks team that's really going to be able to stop Joel Embiid. They got, like I said, you got Nerlens Noel. I don't know what Mitchell Robinson's situation. I don't think he's playing right now, is he? And then, of course, you got, like, Taj Gibson. But, yeah, 76ers going to be some feast, man. Sorry, Knicks fans. Great season. You guys have so much promise. I do think you will land a big-name free agent within the next season or two. But this is the year to, you got to the second round. Hey, that's a damn round of applause, bro. I think it's always important to note in these cases that literally only one team can win the championship. So, alrighty. Next, we have the Miami Heat versus the Brooklyn Nets. So, we have, once again, that grit and grind factor against just, like, the stardom of the Nets. Oh, man. Heart wants me to pick Miami Heat. But then the Nets, I see all the talent on the team. But I think defensively, even, like, this Nets team actually has potential to, this Heat team has potential to really actually play some great defense onto the Nets, man. The one thing that kind of scares me is, the backcourt. If Oladipo once again was playing, then I would like that even more, a guy like Oladipo guarding James Harden or Kyrie Irving, because at least he's like a serviceable defensive guard. But I think without him, it's a little bit more difficult. Obviously, you leave up to like Goran Dragic to like handle Kyrie, and that's just not a good defensive matchup. Tyler Hero against James Harden, no thank you. Or I guess Jimmy can play on him too, but then you got to deal with like Kevin Durant, like Jeff Green and all that. And just defensively, Bam kind of doing his versatile thing is nice, but I think beyond that, and I guess what Jimmy Butler can bring is great, but I do hope the Nets moving on here, man. I want the Heat to win, but like I said, this Nets team, it's just on paper, they're so good. Now, maybe chemistry-wise, they fall apart. That could happen. But, we don't know what's going to happen until it happens, right? So, just team-wise, I do have the Nets over the Miami Heat, man. All right, so this is a really good Western Conference, Eastern Conference Finals here. We got the Clippers against the Lakers. Got the Lakers, man. I don't have a reasoning behind it. It's just my gut instinct is the Lakers back in the finals. And this is all assuming LeBron stays healthy. So I react to this when the playoffs are over, man. LeBron gets injured or something. It's a different case. But I got the Lakers back to the NBA Finals. We got the 76ers against the Nets. Yet again, Joel Embiid. Nobody's going to be able to stop him. But when it comes to the Nets, Ben Simmons against maybe Kyrie Irving. Joel Embiid can at least, stop the inside and stuff. But, ooh, man. I almost feel like it's the year of the Sixers, guys. But that net scoring, though, man. It's so dangerous. It's just James Harden, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. I just say those three, and it's so hard for me to vote against that type of team. Once again, as much as I don't want the Nets to move on, because I just think, once again, when it comes down to it, what they did is not great for basketball. It's not great. Especially all the buyout shit going on, bro. Especially like Blake Griffin and something. They got LaMarcus Aldridge. Obviously, he retired, but I don't think it was great for basketball. But the reason we don't think it's great for basketball is because, sadly, it kind of works. Got the Nets moving on, man. Sorry, 76ers. Hope you guys prove me wrong, man. I want to be proven wrong. And now we have a very star-studded NBA Finals. And let's be honest, from a player standpoint, this is the most exciting player matchup, man. It is the most exciting one. LeBron James, Anthony Davis against, former teammate Kyrie Irving. You got James Harden going for his, first championship after not having luck on the Houston Rockets and essentially OKC Thunder back in the day. You got another matchup of Kevin Durant against LeBron James. It's the fun matchup, man. The Nets don't really have any inside presence. Shout out to Nicholas Claxton, but the inside game of the Lakers against the perimeter play of the Nets, it's going to be beautiful, man. And I think when it comes down to it, my winner of the 2021 NBA playoffs, man, I think he does it again, guys. I think this is the year where he solidifies himself, no doubt in my mind, as the NBA GOAT. LeBron James as your 2021 NBA champions, man. That is my prediction. Dethroning the Nets, doing it for all of us, and becoming a hero of the NBA. That's all we got for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends. Okay, guys, so I have 27 push-ups to do, and today's lesson is just kind of like, I don't feel like doing them, man. I simply do not feel like doing the push-ups. But with that being said, I went to the gym earlier. I got a nice little workout in. But I've committed to this thing, right? And although I don't feel like doing it, really what separates yourself from others is doing, your goals and achieving them on the days that you just don't feel like doing it, man. That's really what's going to separate you, because there's people that would simply just take the day off. So these 27 push-ups, they're not going to be pretty, but it's if I do one good push-up, then that's better than me not doing anything at all. So I'm going to do these. I'll probably put some music over this because it's going to take me a little bit to do them. Maybe I'll speed it up if I need to. But yeah, man, like I always say, do your best and forget the rest. Whew. Rough. But I got them done to the best of my ability.